Welcome to episode 47 of the Cue the Duck Boats podcast. Today we are very lucky to be joined by Marc McLaughlin of the Providence Bruins. How you doing today, Marc?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. Kevy, how you doing today over in Nantucket? Is it cold and rainy?
Oh, cold, rain, windy. It's like 25 degrees.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It might be paradise in the summer, but in the wintertime, it's surely not.
Oh, it's hell. Straight hell.
Yeah, exactly. But we're glad to have you on, Marc. We just kind of want to get into some things about your hockey career, obviously. Quickly becoming a fan favorite, I think, in Boston for any of the prospects for sure. That's got to be pretty cool. But let's kick it back to the start. Like, what made you start playing hockey other than, I guess, it just being a part of Massachusetts culture?
Yeah, obviously hockey's really big in Mass, but so my dad played hockey growing up, and then my siblings played as well. My brother and sister played. So basically, from a young age, I was picking up the stick and started playing. Like as soon as I could walk, I was starting to skate. So so family definitely got me into it, but just as it went, just loved the game and loved playing Billerica Mites and then up to Minutemen Flames and Providence Capitals, a bunch of different youth teams that we had a lot of fun with those groups. So, but definitely the family is what got me into it and definitely got me hooked.
Minutemen Flames. Did you play out of the Marlboro rink, the one with the 8 rinks in it?
Yeah, all the time. New England Sports Center.
Yeah, New England Sports. So that was I remember as a kid, that was my favorite tournament. We would always go up and play in Marlboro. We'd get there and just be in the hotel and that rink. I remember the first time walking in there as a kid, and you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's awesome there. There's so many great games there, and Providence Bruins actually played there probably years ago, right during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID, that was. If you think about it though, like that's the best smaller rink around, like in this area. It just makes sense.
Yeah, Rink One is legendary.
Yeah. I wonder if have you been in the new rink that they just built or they just kind of redid in North Attleboro?
I don't know if I have. I don't know if I've been over there.
Their rink 1 it's 3 rinks, and their rink 1, they put in like stadium seating and they put in like a mini jumbotron. It's pretty cool. Like, especially I think there's I don't know what level it is. I think there's an SPHL team playing out of there. Okay. And we had like a U8 game the other day, and the kids were just enamored, like skating out, looking up at the scoreboard. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that must make the experience fun for the kids seeing a jumbotron. Yeah,
definitely.
So you talked about like your family getting you into hockey. Who was like your biggest inspiration growing up?
I mean, my family as a whole really had a big impact on me. I'll talk about my brother a bit because I grew up like he's around 8 years older than me, so I grew up idolizing him, watching him play. Played for Junior Bruins, played Division III at Wentworth. So just growing up watching him, kind of learning the game through how he plays and kind of modeling my game after how he plays the right way and plays hard. So I think he was a huge inspiration on kind of how I play the game and how I carry myself for sure.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Obviously, like having someone directly to look up to who's close to your age, but not quite that close. That's pretty. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Who was your favorite player growing up? Was it a Bruin?
Oh yeah. Bergeron, that's an easy question.
Yeah, I know. That was a softball. It was a softball for you.
Yeah, so being here, I grew up the biggest Bruins fan. My dad's the biggest Bruins fan. Doesn't miss a single game. So, but yeah, I always loved Bergeron. I played center most of my life and playing wing now a little bit. But yeah, just the way he plays hard, plays the right way. 200-foot game. What's not to like? So he's definitely someone I looked up to and was my favorite player for sure.
So what was that feeling like?
Was it
the first
hard?
time?
Yeah,
you stepped foot on the ice with Bergeron.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of funny because like during the summer, when it all starts winding down and you're not in the thick of it, you're like, wow, that's pretty special that I got that opportunity. And you know, I was playing aside all those unbelievable guys. But I feel like in the moment you're kind of just like I'm just ultra focused. I was trying to help the
Yeah.
team, just trying to do my best. So I feel like it didn't really sink in until this summer that I kind of noticed. I was like, wow, this is pretty special.
You got to think too, like at this point, there's been a lot of guys from Mass who have came and played for the Bruins in Bergeron's time there. And I mean, I grew up in Rhode Island. My favorite player growing up was also Patrice Bergeron. So was 90% of us, right? So it's like
Right.
the ones who make it to Boston like that, he has to be used to the fact that he is more than just a hockey player in a lot of ways to a lot of guys. So like he knows that, obviously.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was cool to kind of see an inside look at it and, you know, get a view of his leadership and how he carries himself. And, you know, his presence is huge in the locker room. And, you know, he always has the right things to say. And he's the first one in the mornings, showing up to practice. It's, you know, he's just the ultimate team guy and ultimate leader. So that was pretty cool to see, like, because everyone talks about it, but to see it firsthand is, you know, it lives up to all the stuff that you see about him being a great leader. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Kick it back a bit. Do you ever look back and like realize how lucky you were to like grow up in Mass in the Rhode Island Mass area for like the talent level of hockey? And do you think that helped get you to where you are now? Like if you look at where you played as a kid, you didn't really have to leave this area until you went to the USHL because how much hockey talent there was. And like I think that people outside of the New England area kind of miss like how good Mass and Rhode Island hockey is in a way.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. Like you grow up with, you know, competitive practices playing against guys that are, you know, love the game and want to get better and are really good hockey players. And it ultimately makes you better. So, and great coaching too is
Yeah.
the thing that Mass and New England has. So, I mean, me and Mike Callahan, who plays on Providence Bruins, we're actually roommates now, but him and I grew up playing youth hockey together. You know, Mike Hardman, who's played in the NHL, AHL, was on our Providence Capitals team. Like a numerous amount of Division I college guys came out of that. So it's like the 99 age group was so talented, and there's other guys too that are in the NHL. And you know, just getting to be able to play if you're playing against or you're playing with them, it's that competitiveness that, you know, Mass hockey has really been elite, you know, for a while now. So I think that's huge. And but the biggest thing is like practices. It's I feel like being able to compete against those kids, like and have that kind of develop that, you know, desire to compete and push each other is kind of what makes you love the game. And that was great for when I was young.
Yeah, I mean, I see it now, right? So I coach at a like Mite A level, which is so young, right? But they're already so Providence Capitals has became Providence Hockey Club.
Yeah.
We already have kids from my team getting like picked. Like they're just getting like picked off to go play there now, like such a young age and things like that. So I have my qualms with them because they keep taking my star players. But at the same time, it's obviously great for those kids to play at that level. And like that's, you know, what I tell their parents and things like that. But it's just even like Mass and Rhode Island, I don't know if you know this, we're like the only two states left in the United States that have full ice hockey at the 8-year-old level. And when I've sat in like the coaching meetings, there people coaches from other parts of the country, like Washington and things like that, they can't fathom it. And they just don't realize that even at the U8 level, it's so competitive. Like it's full ice hockey where these kids are breaking the puck out of their zone and they're running power plays and there's two refs and there's no way not to be because exactly what you said, it's just so competitive in this area from like a young age.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good teams. Like we had, you know, Jack Rathbone, Aiden McDonough, like all those guys were playing on other teams.
Yeah, and exactly.
There's, you know, other high caliber players that are playing, you know, closer to home or whatever it might be for another program. And, you know, it just makes us that much better.
Definitely.
So what went to your decision to leave Cushing and go into the USHL?
Yeah, that was a hard decision because, you want to do your senior year at Cushing and,
Yeah.
a lot of friends there and the familiarity of it. But ultimately, I felt like, and I've kind of had this as I went on with my hockey career, is that you want to, when you're dominating and, you're playing well, it's time to move to another level.
Which you were.
You
You had
shouldn't be
43
really.
points in 33 games.
What's that?
Which you were. You had 43 points in 33 games at that point.
Yeah, so I felt like I needed another, challenge and to take that next step. So we went to the USHL and that was great. I love Cedar Rapids. Coach Carlson was one of the best coaches I've had. Um, and then same thing for going to college too. I was supposed to go in as a true freshman, but felt like I wasn't dominating yet. That I needed another year to develop and get my game in the right place. So I did another year, and it worked out great. Got a lot better, and then went into school more ready. I felt like so. So yeah, that was kind of the journey there.
Definitely makes complete sense. I mean, you see it more and more. I don't think that it's ever a bad idea to give yourself another year if you're not. And then if you're not quite ready, it's good to stay. I think I agree with both sides of that. Just perfect segue you gave us there. How did you choose BC? Did you have other hockey schools that you were deciding with or through?
Yeah, yeah. I was looking mainly at hockey schools. I really wanted to play in the Bean Pot.
Yeah.
Growing up as a local kid, it's hard to turn that down. And then the education was a big part of it too. BC is an amazing school, so I was very fortunate to have gotten that as well and been able to graduate this past spring. So, but yeah, it's hard when you get a call from legendary Coach York. That's hard to turn down, and I always looked up to BC and wanted to go there. So it all fell into place, and I was so glad that I made that decision.
It's like you have our questions that we came up with in front of you. It's like you're giving us these easiest segues.
Oh yeah, so back to Coach York. Do you have a good Jerry York story since you were his last captain and everything, which is a huge honor? Do you have a crazy story for us, or
And
any good story?
anything. You played
Anything.
4 years for him. There has to be one, right, that you can tell. It has to be pretty good.
Yeah, there's
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'll try to think of one. I mean, there were so many great moments. The thing about Coach York was he was so much like he was like teaching us life lessons while we're learning the game of hockey and you know playing and practicing and whatever. But like he would always be like he would make sure you like doing your schoolwork, you're doing this and checking in with your family. Like he's just like the nicest, like down to earth human being, and he's like the best mentor you could possibly have. I've told this story before and on one of the Bruins, Nesson or something like that. But when he brought the custodian in to like recognize all the work that he's been doing for like picking up their trash or whatever at night, and a guy that we would never meet, but like he brought him in just to make sure he felt like he was part of it and like that we recognize the work that he's doing and appreciate it. And it's just cool. Like he thinks of everything, and he's just the nicest person. Like to think outside the box like that and to make sure everyone's like feels appreciated and like the work that they're doing matters. It's just like he was great at building a team. So that was pretty cool to see. I thought that was a great little story.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, that shows the character of someone and just how he's instilling that character on you guys, which makes you better people and better hockey players. So
Yeah.
that's definitely, I mean, you could tell that's his goal. That's why he's, I would say, the most storied hockey coach in college hockey history. Really. I mean, he is, at least for people who grew up in this area, like he's by far the most storied coach.
Yeah.
Give you one more from BC. What was your most memorable season at BC? I looked through kind of the years. I mean, your sophomore year, you guys were pretty much a wagon of NHL talent, like yourself included. You guys had Newhook, Boldy, Hellas, and Knight. There's even more guys in there who are gonna play in the NHL or have played games. It's just that team was so good. Like looking at it.
Yeah. Sophomore, junior year were our best years. Sophomore year, honestly, we had a lot of we had I think 12 seniors that year.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of older guys. I felt like our team was really well rounded. We had a lot of like solid defensive guys. We had, that young freshman group, Boldy, Newhook, Hardman. We had Spencer Knight. We
Yeah.
had solid decor. We had like everything.
Yeah.
COVID hit, which
Exactly.
disappointing and is what it is. But that year was so fun. I thought we were clicking at the right time coming down the stretch. But so it was kind of unfortunate we never got to see that through and see what that team was made of. But yeah, junior year was awesome too, like battling the elements of COVID. And I thought we, had a great season. Just didn't end up working out in the end, but it was great. We had such a great core, like all those like Boldy, Newhook, Spencer Knight,
Yeah.
Hardman, Hutsko, Giles, McBain, like all those
guys.
A
ridiculous group of guys
awesome.
that was there.
Yeah, this is just an incredible group. Just such a fun group to be around. Every day coming to the rink, we were all pushing each other. We were having a blast doing it at the same time. So, and it's awesome seeing those guys have success now. Boldy's been killing it lately. He had a great night last night. So keeping in touch with those guys is great. Calling them every now and then. So it's great.
We went to the game in Boston against Minnesota this year where we scored 2, and it was just we were right behind the net, and so many Bruins fans were just cheering for him, but like it was such like it was such a like funny watching guys like cheer for him, but then like try not to, but then it was funny because I mean obviously like
we went to his first NHL game. It was at the Garden.
Yep.
2 years.
Yep.
And he scored, and we were up in our whole BC team had a box, and we were like going crazy up there. The first time to root against the Bruins, but
you have to for your friends.
That was prior to signing.
Yeah, signing exactly. Well, don't want anyone to jump on you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna segue right into your Olympic career. So at what point did you know that there was a chance you were going to be a U.S. Olympian?
Honestly, it never really crossed my mind. Until like the very, very end when I was hearing rumblings that I might have a chance of making it, and I was like, wow.
What? Yeah.
I didn't really try to get my hopes up. We're in the middle of the BC season. I was, ultra focused on that, and then it came to fruition. It was crazy. Like I honestly couldn't believe it. I called my family right away. It's like, I'm going to China.
I'm going to China. Exactly, right?
Pretty surreal. And that's an experience you can never get back. And we were just so honored to have that chance and go over there. And, it didn't end up working out how we wanted it to, but we had a great team.
It was fun to watch. It was
really
super fun to watch.
That's another team was really fun to watch. A lot of skill, a lot of speed. So, but yeah, just getting to see other events was one of the coolest things ever. Like going to, the ski like half pipe and snowboarding stuff. We went to curling, figure skating, speed skating.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Really
so cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was a lot of fun. I had an absolute blast there.
Did you get to meet Shaun White?
I did. Yeah, I gave him a fist bump.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Opening ceremonies, we took like a big team photo with him. He was super
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What was it like to put that jersey on for the first time and just be like, was that when it hit you, or did it hit you before? Like, was there like a moment where you were there and you were like, oh my God, like I'm really here?
Opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
Walking out the Olympic rings hanging from the top of the stadium and the music playing and, announcing the United States that was like, wow, I can't believe I have this opportunity. It's, just try to make the absolute most of it. So,
that's so cool.
Yeah, putting the jersey on was so special too. I'd have another like crazy thing is that I had never worn a USA jersey before. I'd never made a USA team.
I was gonna ask you that because I looked through. So that was the first time the Olympics. It's like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Like I've dying to get a chance to represent our country, and for it to be in the Olympics is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. It was pretty surreal, like I said.
Yeah, I mean that's something you'll have forever. Like there's just no one can ever take that away. Like you're a U.S. Olympian forever. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, it's just awesome to see like all the college guys get that opportunity.
Yeah,
It's not what everyone expected. Everyone, the last one they kind of went with a couple college guys. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had a great team. So
To me, like if you're not gonna have the NHL guys, it makes it 100 times more fun to watch with college guys, and the talent level is just so high. So like you're not like it was so much more fun to watch than the one before. Like to me at least, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys, like most of the guys, are playing pro hockey already now. They're playing in NHL or AHL already and doing really well. So, yeah, it's definitely it was a great group, a really talented group.
Yeah.
Would you ever take a vacation back to China?
I don't know if that's on the bucket list right now. Maybe down the road, we'll see.
What's your bucket list vacation spot?
So my family, we went to U.S. Virgin Islands last summer.
Nice.
St. John's. Yeah, it's beautiful there. That's one of our favorite spots to go.
I'm a big St. Martin guy.
Yeah, I was like, I like St. Martin.
St. Martin's fun.
I haven't been there, but yeah, I've heard that's awesome.
Yeah, you have the half Dutch and then half French, so
yeah,
get a little mixture of everything down there.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I mean, it's like, I don't know if I really even have to ask you this, like why you signed with Boston, but how cool is it to have the opportunity to sign with the Boston Bruins?
Yeah.
Like when you knew that you had a chance, was it just like, oh my God, like that was your only option, right? At that point, like if you get all these contracts, but you have the Bruins, a mask hit, it must be
very hard to turn that down for sure. You dream about playing the NHL, but like you see yourself wearing Bruins jersey, as a kid and all growing up. So, like everything happens for a reason too. To go back to it, like you're so aggravated and frustrated that you don't get drafted, and then you don't sulk or whatever. You just keep working and stick to the game plan, and believe in yourself. And so it ended up working out great because then I could sign where I wanted coming out of school as a free agent, and there's no turning down Boston for sure. So the stars aligned and it worked out great.
I think that's a great message too for kids. It's like you didn't get drafted, and instead of being sulking, you went out and were almost a point per game player, was a point per game player, then almost a point per game player in Hockey East, and then went and got to sign with the Boston Bruins. So that's kind of a ringing endorsement of just keep your head down and keep working, and you can still make your dream come true.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a huge message. Even like no matter where you go to, it's like you got to keep that same mindset that you're never out of it. You just believe in yourself and just keep working hard. It can get you a lot of places.
Definitely.
All right, the big question. So that first goal you scored, which is a beautiful goal, have you ever had a better rush than when you scored that?
No, I honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
There's no way. I couldn't have wrote it up any better. It was an amazing pass by Freddie too. But yeah, that was fun to be a part of, like an 8-1 game too in your first NHL game. Like that was amazing because that's like you're playing loose. You're just out there, you're
not worried about blowing the game.
You don't have to think as much. You're just playing like how you can play, and you're not like stressed out and whatever. So, but that was awesome. I've said it a bunch, but the coolest part was that it was a home game and it was in Boston that I got to share with everyone that helped me get to where I was, so it was my whole family, my friends, my, people from my hometown, my teammates from every step of the way, all the way up, so it's like all my BC teammates. It was like, couldn't have drew it up any better because I was immediately thinking of them because it's, they helped me get there, and to share it with them was so cool.
Yeah, it's like life finally came full circle. You're right there. Every kid's dream.
it's hard not to like look at the moments you've had already, like early in your career, and be like, well, you've had some pretty sick moments so far. Like I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more, but there's been some cool ones, right? Like that, the Olympics, just always. I mean, being on such a good BC team, being the captain of Boston College. I mean, Jerry York retired after you, right? Like you were his last captain. Did you guys know he was retiring like earlier than everyone else?
Maybe like like the day of.
But oh yeah, okay, so not really, yeah.
Yeah, so no. Yeah, he sent me a text and said I'm hanging up the skates. Like, thanks for everything. I was like reading it. I was like hanging up. I was like, oh my god,
yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Thanked him for everything, and yeah, he's such a good guy. I've been talking to him a bunch. He's going to come out to a Providence game, so
awesome.
Yeah, he's so supportive, and he's wishing me the best still. And yeah, he's the best.
That's awesome. All right, another one for you here. So then we'll get into some fun stuff coming kind of to the end of what we have here for you. But after training camp, myself included, a lot of Bruins fans, a lot of people thought you looked NHL ready. How does it feel to know that you have the Bruins fan base behind you? And what are the things you're focusing on to get to that next point, right? I mean, obviously, it's amazing to be a Providence Bruin, and you're doing great there. But your goal is to play in the NHL. So, what are the things that you're focusing on this year to get there?
Yeah, I mean, your goal is always to be going up there, and it's well, what can I do to get better to be there? And you need to view this as an opportunity, and just use all the resources that are here. There's, an amazing coaching staff. There's, I'm adjusting to my first year of professional hockey. It's a huge difference between the schedule from college to pro. So getting used to that, and, picking the brains of older veterans that have a ton of experience, like Chris Wagner and, Connor Carrick, Mike Riley's here.
Yeah.
So it's all an opportunity to get better. And I've been trying to work on different aspects of my game that I know, would get me to be an NHL player. So just working on, my skating and, just making sure I'm playing a very low risk game and not making too many mistakes, and, managing the game the right way. And being more physical, and so stuff like that I've been trying to work into my game for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, it was a great answer, right? It's all, I mean, just keep on grinding, right? It's what you've done your whole career, so you just got to keep doing it.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, you got to keep at it and grind away. Absolutely. It's been great down here. It's a ton of fun because, like I was saying earlier, it's awesome that we have so many young guys. It's almost like you're back in college again a bit.
Yeah.
Everyone's around your age, and it's been a really fun group. There's so much skill, so much team speed. So it's been a great group to be a part of, and we're having so much team success because we're really gelling together. I feel like it was a lot of camaraderie within the group and the locker room. So that makes it fun to show up to the rink every day and go to work.
Awesome.
So on to the fun stuff, to get to know a little more about you away from hockey. What's your favorite thing to do away from the rink?
The ink.
Yeah. I would say away from the rink, I've been getting into golf, even though I'm not good at all. Yeah, I'm actually really bad, but I've been getting better. It's fun to.
What's the handicap?
I don't even have a handicap. I'm just I'm starting to break 100, and I'm happy about it.
Oh, you're getting there. That's the first step.
Right. So it's been I've been doing a lot of that with former teammates and BC guys and this and that, hometown friends. So that's been a ton of fun. My family's really big into just being outdoors, hiking, camping. So we do a lot of that. Go up to the White Mountains a lot.
Awesome.
Go on some good hikes. So that's been something that's been a part of my life for a while, and it's a ton of fun to get outside and do that.
Have you gotten out on any of the? Oh, you can go, Kev. Sorry.
I would say, who's the best golfer on the P Bruins?
I think it's Justin Brazeau. Yeah, he can hammer the ball. He's 6'8". He smokes the thing. So, and he's got the soft hands too. So he's got a mix of both. Yeah, he's really
the
good.
deadly combo.
Yeah, we were teamed up together because I'm bad, so I'm a good player.
Have you gotten out on any of the courses in Rhode Island?
No, I actually haven't.
I guess it's hard now. I guess you won't now, right? Everything's pretty
so just normally do it during the summer, and then
exactly.
It's off as you start getting prepared before the season starts. So
for sure, it's pretty much. I mean, golf season's over anyway. What's your I'm obviously local. What's your favorite restaurant in Providence? Where do you guys like? Where do you go for your favorite meal in Prov?
So there's a place called Circe that's really good. Downtown, and Andino's
Andino's my spot. Andino's is my favorite for sure.
Yeah, chicken parm with the pink sauce is really
good. So good. So I used to work right over there, so I would just walk there for lunch all the time and just sit at the bar and I would just be like me and 3 old Italian guys, and I would just sit there with them and just talk, and I would just listen to their stories and just eat my chicken parm. Andino's is definitely one of the best spots.
Great spot. Yeah, for sure.
Who's the best dressed on the P Bruins? Johnny Beecher said Vinny was. So
that's the first one that came to mind. I don't want to pump his tires like that though.
Yeah, double.
Vinny is though. He cares a lot about his fashion. He loves it. Yeah, he cleans up well. Connor Carrick has good style too. I'll give a shout out to C's. Yeah, awesome. He's always dressing up and looking good.
Awesome. That's really all we had for you. I don't know if you have anything else, Kev.
No, that's all I have.
Hey, we're so thankful for your time, man, and just good luck with everything this year. If you have anything you want to talk about or any cause or anything you want to shout out, you can feel free. If not, we're just super thankful.
Yeah, not that I can think of. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. Had a ton of fun.
Thank you so much, dude. Have a good one.
For the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. See ya.